Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Mark Isaac Potter Presents. Today, we're visiting with Denise, who is the founder of cibusmission.org, and she's looking very lovely in her pink shirt. I love pink. I have several pink t-shirts, and I wear them frequently. Uh, anyway, we're talking about the youth program within Cibus Mission. Yeah, when we talked about it last show, which was show number 2, so you might go look at that show as well. This is 3, of course. Then, uh, Denise, tell us more about the youth program, or even I wouldn't mind you repeating anything you want to repeat from last show because
Sure.
it takes me a while to absorb. I'm also curious about Hagerstown. I haven't looked it up on the map, but apparently it's near both Pennsylvania and West Virginia.
Correct. I can drive less than 10 minutes and get into Pennsylvania in one direction, and in the other direction, I can drive less than 15 minutes and get to West Virginia.
That's crazy. I just didn't. I mean, I'm from Ohio. I should know that area better, but I don't. That's
Yes, and oh, you're from that's pretty close. Have you ever traveled to here?
no. I mean, the closest I've been is northeastern Kentucky because my father, his
Mm-hmm.
family, his people are from a little town that doesn't exist anymore called Catalpa, which is the name of the kind of tree in that area. And that non existent town is near a town called Louisa, which is near Paintsville and Ashland. And our family farm, the 44-acre farm that my grandfather had, came bordered right up against the Big Sandy River, which is a river in the area there somewhere. So, yeah. Anyway.
That's amazing. 44 acres is huge.
Well, yeah, and my uncle sold it to the power company, so it's where and I think it's a nuclear power company. So where that, if you ever drive down that, it's a state route something
Uh-huh.
22 or something along that area. When you see the power plant, that's where that was my family's land.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
That's amazing. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. So you probably know a lot about farming.
Ha ha ha! No, because I grew up in northern Ohio on 2/3 of an acre,
Okay.
and
All right. So you're
we
closer to
did
my kind of farming.
we did have beans and Concord grapes,
Right.
tomatoes. Uh,
Green peppers.
we didn't do green peppers for some
Watermelon?
reason. My dad was in charge of everything.
Oh,
We
okay.
did grow. We did have a pony, so we grew field corn, what my dad
Ah,
called field
yes.
corn for the pony. But yeah, I don't even remember us growing potatoes, which would have been easy to grow, I think. But
Yeah.
a lot of green beans, a lot of tomatoes, a lot of grapes. That's what I remember the most, anyway.
That's
Oh
awesome.
boy, how's your husband doing? By the way, he was sick. Is he doing better?
Yeah, he's better. He's better now.
All right. What do you think it was? A light flu or?
Yeah, he's actually pretty good at not getting really bad colds. So if
Yeah.
somebody maybe he went in contact with someone who had a bad cold and then he got a light version of that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those things. Yeah, he's always been really healthy within that, but he eats a lot of tomatoes. So it could be that.
Which means
Tomatoes
what?
have a lot of zinc.
Which is good or not good?
For men, it's very important.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh,
Hmm.
all
And it
right.
helps against colds and stuff. Zinc.
Okay.
It's just Just a thing.
I ate a tomato once. I really did. What an experience. Ooh la la.
I remember George Carlin, the comedian, he
Yeah.
said, I don't like tomatoes. They're not quite done. They're kind of wet and hard. It's like you're getting them halfway through. I don't like feeling.
I usually try to make jokes. I haven't made as many jokes on this show, your shows, but I try to make jokes when I can. It's something I've always done.
Awesome.
Hey, tell us more about
So yeah,
your youth
I
program.
ended the last program kind of starting to tell you about some of the partnerships I'm starting to have. And there's actually several. We partnered last year with Panera Bread. So we are able to get the
Bakery
it's called,
goods,
yeah, the leftover bakery goods at the end of the day.
right?
And we're able to distribute that. So sometimes we make sandwiches with them, sometimes we just have like pastries and stuff and we just distribute it out. We've also talked with Wegmans, the supermarket. It's a regional supermarket in this
Yeah,
area.
yeah. I've heard of it. Yeah.
And they were kind enough to say, yes, we will help you with all your food and beverages for the youth program because we like what you do. One of the things that I didn't know about Wegmans earlier was that they actually have their own farms where they produce their own vegetables. So they have this
Okay.
organic line of their own
Very nice. Very nice.
vegetables, which is kind of why they like, I think, our program, and they like the idea of it also. uh, and with Home Depot, we have been in talks for a while. One of the reasons why Home Depot liked our program is because we work a lot with veterans. We help veterans, not as much as we want to, but one of the things that I want to do in the youth program is have at least a couple of the kids there be children of veterans because
Okay. Okay.
veteran veterans also struggle. Like, you have difficulties. It's not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
certain people, and veterans have to go through a lot more
Yeah.
once they leave. They're more likely to suffer from PTSD. They're more likely to suffer from a lot more issues, and that affects your family.
Yep.
Whatever
Yep.
as a parent you go through, it affects your family life. And
Right. Right.
if
Right.
we can make that a little better for them, then
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So
Very nice.
it's one of
Very
those
good.
things that we want to work with them and have veterans come in. And that's another reason why we have veterans coming in to give a talk one of the days that we're having the program during the 10 to 12 week sessions. We want a veteran to come in and talk to the kids about military, about coming, and things that positive experiences,
So,
and a way to basically maybe even mentor them. One of the things that I uh, uh, while I've been talking to a lot of veterans during this time is that there there are a lot of them that still want to serve. They've been serving so long and they love serving the United States, but they also love serving people. And when they
okay.
have that opportunity, it makes them feel whole again
Makes
in
them
one
blossom.
way.
Yeah.
Yes, it makes them, they're like, okay, this is me. I want
Right.
to do this. And you
Okay.
see that joy that they have.
Okay.
And it helps mutually because if you're able to mentor a student and you find value in that, then it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Right. 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 So that's good. So your programs, I think, because they're for the youth programs for kids, are during the summer because that's when they're off school. And
Yes.
you say they're 10 to 12 week programs. Is it one program for 10 or 12 weeks, or
It's
is
going
it
to
like
be, I want to do both programs um during the week, like have one for the youth urban farm thing and the other day during the week, or later on that day for the bike repair. I don't want both programs at the same time because it's just too many kids.
are
It would
you
be
doing all
30
this at
kids.
your own home or do you have a space or what?
The space will be in the back of my home. Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay. All
for
right.
now, for
Well,
now, we
yeah.
want
Yeah.
to eventually expand
Yeah.
out and find different places. Um,
Yeah.
eventually we want to find a place where we can go and kind of copy this, but within
There are two places out here that do that too. I don't know if you want to get in touch with them, let me know. You know, what
Mhm.
and there's that other guy with the veterans in Minnesota.
Yes.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can
I will, but
just
the
remind me
reason
eventually. Yeah.
it's good to start small for us because we get
Okay.
to see what issues occur at a small scale, right?
Right, 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 right.
If
Okay.
I start with let's say I find a
No, no,
piece of land somewhere and it's an acre,
no,
and then
no,
I
no.
have the kids and something happens that I wasn't prepared for, then I don't want to start at that level. I want to start
No.
here where I can manage, right?
Right,
Because
right,
it is a new program for us.
right,
And
right, right.
having book and honestly, in this area, there is that doesn't exist. And people confuse it with community gardens a lot. They think that it's the
Okay.
same thing as a community garden. And a
Right.
community garden is basically you have a certain group of people that already know what they're doing and they're going there and they're doing their stuff, and it's kind of within that. It's that's not what we're about. We're teaching kids, different kids each year, how
Right.
to
How to
grow
grow their own
food.
food. Right.
Yeah, and that's what I want people to understand when
Do you have any sense that any of these kids went back to their regular life and actually grew food for their families?
I, again, haven't done the program yet with us, but we have seen other people that have these programs that have seen their 8-year-old students, their 9-year-old students excel in school, improve in their way of being, having their parents go and get food, like planters and things, and
Okay.
just have this joy of having plants in their life.
Okay.
So if
Good.
you can
Good,
instill
good.
that earlier on,
Yeah, that's very beautiful.
it, it
There's a
it'll
lot
it'll
that
blossom. It'll be awesome. It's
and
just I love it.
the proximity to plants is a very healthy thing. You know, having them in your home, having them in your yard is very important. So,
It is. It is. And that's something that I want kids to have as early as possible, right? But I want to work with youth between 8 and 17 because at any during that time they haven't had that experience. So I want them to have it at least before they, they're adults. And then once you're an adult, you kind of, and towards the end of teenagehood, you kind of have your ideas skewed. You already kind of have formed what your opinions are of things.
right, right,
And
right,
it's disheartening when you see kids say, "Oh my god, I can't possibly do that because," and then they fill in the blank themselves because of
right,
their own assumptions, because of their own
right,
thoughts, because of what they've
right,
been taught.
right.
So when they're younger, they don't have that. That's one of the cool things. Okay, so our house is bilingual. We speak Spanish and English in this house. What does that really mean? For us, I don't know other families, but for us that means I scold my kids in both languages. You will hear me yelling across the aisle in English, and my husband will say it in Spanish, and they understand both.
Very good.
You do. You get it.
Wow.
And it's because I've learned, because my background is as an interpreter, that
Oh,
the
okay.
yes, I am a qualified legal interpreter for the state of Maryland. So I'm
I'll be
registered
darned.
and everything. Yeah.
Very good.
So
Very good.
one of the things that you find out is that kids, when they're small, they don't look at language as, oh, they're speaking English, they're speaking Spanish. They just look at it as one thing.
Okay.
This hand, you can say hand, but it also, you can say mano.
Yeah.
They don't see any differences.
Right.
But once they reach the age of 8 or 7, they say, no, 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 this is hand. And then you say, no, you can say mano. No, you can't. It says hand. This is hand. So you in their brain, they get stuck.
Yeah.
And that
Mm.
happens a lot during the
Wow.
course of the time. Maybe somebody
Okay.
tells you you're shy at a certain age. And if they tell you at that wrong age, then you're going to think for the rest of your life that you're
That
shy.
you're shy. Yeah.
And it's something that you find out late. Maybe it wasn't that I was shy. Maybe I just didn't like that person.
Right. Oh, true.
But then they wait until they're 50 to find out that discovery when they're, self-discovering again. And
Yeah.
it's, again, disheartening for me. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I love about what we do when we homeschool is that there is blood, sweat, and tears. It sounds terrible, but when you learn to do something, and if you hurt yourself a little bit in the process, not like breaking bones or anything, but if you hurt yourself a little bit, you know not to do that again.
Yeah. 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 You
Fire
homeschool
is
your
hot.
kids. You
Yes.
homeschool your kids on
Yes.
top of everything else you do.
Yes. But it's awesome. I
Dear Heavenly Father,
my kids are great. I love them. But I
this
had to
next
teach them.
summer, you said it was okay to interrupt you.
Yes.
Your next summer will be the first summer for the youth program or not?
Yes. This summer will be the first one.
And by the way, folks out there, the youth program is only one aspect of the larger nonprofit that she has founded called Cibus. Would it be fair to say you and your husband founded it or not? He's not as
Uh
active or
he
what?
is the head volunteer. So
Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
yes.
Okay.
But yes, we do have a board and we have everything all in place. But it has been one of those things that I had thought about for quite some time.
Yeah.
And in forming the board, I was looking for people that trusted me, that knew me, and that said, you know what? If she puts her mind to it, she will do it
Yeah.
because
Oh
I
yeah.
know Denise.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Those
you
were the
come off
people
that
that
way
are on my
too.
board.
Yeah. That you're very
Yeah.
accomplished. Yeah. What about
Yes.
all the paperwork? Do you have to write a report once a year?
So
Is that
we
required by the state of Maryland or
we do. We write a report. Yes, we do.
and you have to do it probably, right? Or what?
Yes, I do.
Got to get you to start delegating. I know you will as soon. Are you
Once
any
we
good
have
at
enough funds to
delegating?
do that.
Or all
We
right.
don't we don't have it right now. We're all volunteers and we're all working at it. And
Yeah.
it's really right now we're just trying to get that for see, we do fill blessing box. So we let me just give a review in case you've never seen the program before.
Right.
I fill blessing I'm sorry, we fill blessing boxes, we provide monthly meals, we've helped two veteran families that had a fire, and we've given away over 18,000 food items in the blessing boxes. We've given away over
So this is
2,000
another
meals.
aspect of your overall program.
Yes, the new program, the youth programs that we want to launch are new, but this is what we've been doing during the time. We haven't just been waiting for that to
Right.
happen.
Right.
And the program, the reason why is because when I got here, we saw a need in the community and we couldn't
When,
understand it.
when did you
But
get there? When did you get there?
during the pandemic,
And you moved
during the
from where and
pandemic, we
why did you
moved.
move there?
Yeah, we moved here from. We were very close to Washington D.C. in PG County in Maryland.
So not very far.
We were, yes, far. It's about almost 2 hours away, like an hour and a half away.
I was more like you didn't come from Venezuela or
No, 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 no. No, we
so
moved from PG
why
County.
did y'all move anyway?
Um, we sold our house over there and we were looking for a cheaper house over here. We were looking for a cheaper house, period. Like, period. And we found it over here.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
We had a
Good.
chance to get a property and we bought it here. So
Okay.
we moved during the pandemic, but I didn't understand why there was such a need until recently that I was working with a volunteer that does grant writing for us and is helping me with that. And she pulled up data that says 25% of the people in Hagerstown are under 18 and 22% poverty level. And to give you an idea, at national level, it's 12.5%. And in Maryland, the average is 9.5. So I was coming from that 9.5 area or less, because
Right.
remember, that's the average in Maryland. So that includes the
Right.
22% over here. I was coming from there that was not at all. And, everything was, there were so many free programs, so many programs, income, a sliding scale for youth, so many community based things. It just, there's such a plethora of things to do for kids over there, and
Right.
also programs to help people, that
Okay.
I think that's part of why the poverty level is less over there, because there's so many ways to get out, right? They
Right.
give you those
Okay. Good.
chances.
All right.
And over here, there aren't that many. And it struck me when I got here. It's like, oh my God, what's wrong? Why does it look like this? What is going on? I need, okay, so we just started filling the blessing boxes around the area. We said,
Now
okay,
tell
well,
us again what a blessing box is, because I don't.
sure.
I have before I interviewed you, I had never heard of such a thing. So tell us
Interesting.
again, what is it?
So a blessing box is basically a post that
Physical
has
post, a physical
like
post.
a mailbox post,
Right. Okay.
and and on top of that, it's like a kitchen cabinet.
Okay.
And instead of filling it with like a little library that you guys have in California, I think,
Right.
instead
Right.
of books, they have food items and hygiene
Okay.
kits. So we put hygiene kits in there
And
as
it
well
would have
as
to
food
be
items.
non-perishables or not, you think?
Yes, ideally they are a non-perishable. Um, and they are, well, sometimes we put bananas in there depending on the weather. If it's cold
Yeah.
enough, we can put, fresh
Yeah.
vegetables and
Yeah.
stuff in there.
Yeah.
Um, fresh fruit. Also, if they're individually wrapped is the best way. So maybe a cup of noodles, or maybe a can of food or something, or maybe a individually wrapped cookie, or a bread, a bag of bread or something.
Right. Right.
Those kinds of things.
Okay.
Nutrishakes, or those protein shakes that you guys have. Those kinds of items we put in there. Ah, I wish I had remembered that you asked me about the blessing boxes before, because I said I gotta have a photo for you to see it.
Honey,
So
I don't know how to. I personally do not know how to do editing at all. So the
really, okay.
photo, I wouldn't know how to put it in. I mean, so it's not going to help us any. So
Oh,
I,
that's a
I
shame.
well, I think you
Yes,
could
I'll
probably
work on it. I'll
you
see what I
probably
can
you
do.
probably know how to edit video. I would suspect.
I do a little bit.
I
I do
believe
my
it. I
share.
believe it. So anyway, I think
So
we're gonna. I'm getting tired. I think we'll just end if that's okay. We'll do another. You want to do a show? I know your husband and I are going to do a show on Sunday. Do you want to do another show on Sunday? You want to just wait a couple weeks or what?
we can wait. We can wait. That's fine.
Okay. All right.
I
So
did
we'll.
want to show you before we go. Let me see if I can get it for you really
Okay.
fast.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be great, but I will try. Hold on a second. Let me just pull it up so you can see.
You going to do a share screen or what are you doing
No,
here?
I'm just going to show it as a background.
Okay. How did you do that?
So
Hmm,
that's what a blessing box filled looks like.
that's very cool. It's pretty big.
Yeah, so we
Yes,
filled
yeah.
that was completely empty when we got there,
Oh, wow.
and we were able to fill it. And like I said before, I like organic foods and I like fresh food, but we also like our donuts and little crackers and
Right,
things.
right. And
So
you know
we
what amazes me and surprises me about this whole thing, the libraries and the
uh-huh,
blessing boxes, is people don't take advantage, people don't abuse it. And I
that is
like
true.
that because we don't have nowadays we don't have much faith in our fellow human beings. But you put stuff out there and some big truck doesn't come by and just take the whole thing. It people are respectful of it and use it the way they need it. So it's
Can I share
very
a story about that?
yes, ma'am.
All right. So we are night owls usually,
All right.
and we go to the blessing boxes at midnight around there. And one of the ones that we went to was in front of a women's and children's shelter.
Okay.
And it was this one, actually. It's this huge one.
Okay. Okay.
And we were there filling it up as we do. And there was a lady that came out and she was going to a taxi. And she looked at me and she said, "Can I have one cereal box?"
Oh.
And to this day, I'm like, oh my goodness. It it got to me. And I said, wait a second. And then I got a chance to talk to her a little bit. And I said, hold on. And I got this huge box that I had, and I filled it with diapers and cereal and rice and beans and just everything I could find for and a couple toys. And I was able to give it to her. And she was able to
Oh,
take that taxi and leave. And at that moment, it felt like we were the validation she needed to keep
yeah.
pushing. Because when
Oh,
you're in a woman and children's shelter,
yeah.
something had to happen in order for you to get there.
Yeah. You're on some level you're broken at that point. Yeah.
And when she was there and she said, "Oh, thank you, thank God, thank you, thank God, thank you, thank God." She gave me the biggest hug, just, and she was just, it felt like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is why we're here. We're
Right.
here to
Right.
help people that need to push forward.
Yeah. No,
And it
it's
just, I remember that day and I'm like, oh, this, and we always try to go and fill it as much as possible. But yes.
yeah, yeah, I myself and several of my family members have been homeless over the years. I've been homeless two or three times, and I know the feeling, and I have a heart for people, and I can't understand why some people don't have a heart for other people, but the greed and stuff that happens, it just really gets to me. But anyway, I'm going to close out if it's okay.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for this time.
Folks, we love you. And this has been Denise of cibusmission.org. Please consider donating to them in any way that you can. And this is our third show. We're going to do lots more shows over the next 2 or 3 millennia. So talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Take care, honey. I'm going to go if it's okay.
Sure. All
I
right. Talk to you
want to try
later.
to
Take care.
either rest or take this 11 o'clock meeting, maybe. All
All
right.
right.
Talk to you
Have a good
soon.
one.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye bye. Take care. See.